All right, so let's talk about the electric basses in Trilian. We put a lot of time into these new basses that we did. There's actually over 60 basses, electric basses in Trilian. A lot of different basses, but the new ones are really incredibly detailed. They're some of the most detailed articulation sampling ever on any kind of bass. So let me show you the studio bass. Let's start out. Everybody needs a straight ahead, useful studio bass kind of sound. This is a Music Man 5-string. It's a bongo bass is what they call it, but it's Matt Bissonette played this. It's a great, really great sound. Another key thing about Trilian, it's not just one bass player. It's 6 different bass players. That's the most important thing, is the player. That makes all the difference. So check this out. Here's this is the fingered studio bass. Okay, now so when you play soft, this is kind of a cool thing. You know how on an electric bass you can play the same note in different places on the bass, and you can move your hand position around. You can use open strings and that kind of stuff. Well, with velocity, you can control the string selection and the hand position on this bass. So it's really cool. So if you play soft, and if I play a little harder, it's fingered in a different place and closer to the bridge. So you can bring out and as you can hear, every time I hit the key, it sounds really alive, and that's because I have a huge number of round robin samples. So every time I hit the key, it's going to sound totally different. So I'm going to go to, you can take a look at my switching here. We'll listen to some staccato notes, and I want you to pay close attention to this. So you hear all the little squeaks, and all the dynamics have separate round robins. So every dynamic of every finger position of every note of that bass has 6 round robins. And all the releases, about 16 release noises for each one of those. So it's super, super detailed. And this is just flat. You've been just listening to the DI signal. But let's kick in a little EQ. A little more modern kind of sound. And then hit a little compressor. Okay, now you also notice that when I play legato, you hear hammer-ons and pull-offs. I'll play that same phrase without legato. And that's what you're used to hearing. But now with legato, those are actual hammer-on samples. Okay, so let's take a look at our articulations here. And so we have all these round robins, all this articulation, and we can do things like gliss up to a note. And you can hear that the glisses are dynamic and have the string selection. And you can also now slide down. You have multi-sampled slides. So you can slide from one note to another. Instead of just like an effect, kind of slide, you can now slide, let's say, from this note, or you can slide up. This is a gliss up and a slide down. So huge amount of realism with that sound. Thank you. Thanks. Another thing is we've got fantastic harmonics here, so we can. We can also do staccato. So. Now, of course, you can play staccato with a sustain sample, but it's different when a bass player plays a real staccato. Yeah, there's a little more attitude to it. And we also have X notes, and X notes are the notes you play in between a phrase. So. And if you check this out, every key has its own series of X notes and round robin. So that's for every key. So it's kind of fun. So this is a super useful straight ahead bass. This is the kind of sound you're going to use on tons of different kinds of tracks. Super versatile. So let's go a little further and let's add, because we don't just have fingered, but we also have all the other kinds of techniques too. So let's check out the legato feature with the slapping, because this is really cool. We call this the finger funk, because instead of just being slap samples, which we have, you can have that version like that. But I think Seinfeld kind of killed us all on that one. So the hipper kind of thing now, of course, is to mix up finger playing and slap playing. So if I play soft, I get a nice kind of bridge sound. And if I play harder, and this is cool too, because on a bass you can slap. There's a range on the bass where you can slap or pull. And so we were trying to figure out, how do you, on a keyboard, you just got one note. So how can we make it so that you're not always pulling or always slapping? So we made it so the velocities are really tight. And so you never know what you're going to get. And so if I play soft here, we'll have the fingered sound. And the harder you play, so that was a slap. There was a pull. And if I hit it really hard, I'll always get a pull. So. And you can hear that the legato, is so cool, because it's so much more realistic. So I can do trills. And I've got all of the same articulations too, so I can. That's almost a Seinfeld moment there.